It is Hustle Media Day. Their season is right around the corner.
Every day I'm hustling.
And a new member of the Memphis Hustle, Jason Preston, is here with us in studio. Thanks, man, for coming in.
No, yes, sir.
All right, so I asked for you specifically because I remember, I don't know if it was E60 or Outside the Lines or whatever, but you remember in college, they did all those stories on you, and I was like, hey, is that the same Jason Preston? And they were like, it is. All right, so I want to hear your version of this, of the whole high school, then I'm going to college to do journalism, right?
Yeah.
But then I end up somehow becoming an awesome college basketball player. So take me through, like, senior year of high school and how we kind of end up in this moment.
Okay, so around like my junior year actually is when I started doing the journalism. Junior year going into senior year, because I wasn't really playing a whole lot in basketball, and I had to. Obviously, my main goal was to always get to the NBA, but I also had to look at some backup options.
Wait, all right, so let me take a quick 20-second timeout. Not playing a lot. You're a junior in high school, and you're on the high school team?
Yeah.
But you don't play much for the high school team?
No, I'm not playing a whole lot. Probably like, I don't know, 8th, 9th man, 5 minutes a game maybe.
Wow.
Senior year was a pretty similar story. And then I wasn't really playing. I didn't really have a whole lot of connections or anything. I didn't know a whole lot of people, so I wasn't really on the AAU circuit either. So I graduated high school, only averaging like 2 points a game, didn't have any offers or anything. So I signed up, or I applied to UCF, University of Central Florida, to be just a full-time student. And
basketball's done.
Yeah, essentially. Like, I'm going to go into journalism. I got a little bit of experience with it. I've been writing for a couple teams, got a couple articles on Bleacher Report, so it was doing pretty good. And then one of my friends called me and like, we only got 4 guys for our tournament. A couple guys got hurt. And since I wasn't signed to anybody, I'm allowed to play on their team, apparently.
This is an AAU tournament?
Yeah, even though I had already graduated high school. So I was taking summer class at UCF during this time, but he calls me up, and for 2 weekends they needed me. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll play. It's an opportunity to play basketball. And it was really fun, you know, like it was only 5 guys, so all of us were playing 40 minutes a game. And it was a pretty high-level tournament. There were a lot of scouts there. I actually got a couple D2 offers.
Just off the one tournament?
Yeah, they were 2 really good tournaments for me.
You were going off?
Yeah, they were pretty good for me.
And you had just gotten done averaging 2?
Yeah. I mean,
like, what is going on? Like, this story's already crazy. How did the guy that averaged 2 points a game?
I mean,
did your coach not like you? Or?
I mean, I was pretty small at the time. Like, I was only about 6 foot, maybe $140.
Was the guys ahead of you awesome?
They were pretty good. My coach was pretty old school. We actually won. A year after I graduated, we actually won a basketball game. It went viral. It was like 16-14. Like, we held the ball the whole game. But that's just kind of to give you some background.
No, hey, so wait, 2 could have been the leading scorer on the team.
Yeah.
A win is a win.
It's your basketball team.
It was just a very, like, you know, an old school type coach, I guess.
Okay.
So he had his guys, and I got much of that opportunity. But I would always go to, like, local LA fitness runs or local pickup runs, like, with my friends and stuff, and I feel like I'd be one of the better players there. So I never really lost that confidence, and I knew my ability. So when I got that opportunity in the AAU tournament, I was ready. And yeah.
Had you already grown? What is this story about growing? Like, you grew 4 inches in?
So I'm 6'4" right now. And I was 6 foot at that time. And then, so after those AAU tournaments, I've gotten D2 offers, but my really goal is to get to D1, and, like, obviously where I am today. And I ended up talking up with my family, and then I ended up going to prep school, basically betting on myself. Hopefully I can get a D1 offer.
And this is only because you agreed to play in that AAU tournament twice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're never playing basketball again. Like, I'm saying, like that dream.
I'd try to be a walk-on at UCF, but otherwise, yeah.
You were just going to do the blog or start a career in journalism.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly. So yeah, I go to prep school. They're like, I realized it's not a normal prep school. I didn't really notice at the time, but there were like 70 kids there. So there was like 5 different teams. We ended up playing like a couple open gyms the first few weeks.
Is it a real prep school or is it just like a basketball factory? Okay.
It's a real prep school.
Okay. Who the hell has 3 basketball teams?
It's a real. It's actually, the year that I went was actually the only year that they've done that before or since.
Okay.
But
So where
that's
is this
just how it
prep
was.
school?
It was actually in Tennessee, actually. Athens, Tennessee.
Where is Athens?
It's like a small city here.
Where?
It's about
East
an hour-
Tennessee?
I couldn't tell you what.
Rosa, where is Athens, Tennessee?
It's about
Like
an
the
hour
Georgia?
away.
Like, is it near Georgia?
I think it's an hour away from Knoxville.
Oh, it's east. Okay. All right. So you show up to this prep school and you play basketball there, but they got 3 teams.
Yeah. So I started off on one of the better teams, but I wasn't really playing a whole lot, and I didn't want it to be a repeat situation in high school. So I actually asked to be moved down to like one of the lower teams, and a couple of I had like I said, there were like 70 kids, so you're bunking with guys. A couple of my friends were on that team, so I asked to go on that team to just play a little bit, and I got to play, and I played really well there. I think it kind of opened the eyes of some of the coaches there. And then I ended up getting moved back up to the top team, and I finished the year out with them, playing a good amount. And then after all of that was done...
Was there a bunch of D1 guys on that team?
Yeah, they're probably like, 5 maybe?
Oh, okay.
Five of them, yeah. Then the year was done, and I'm like, I got to get some film myself. So on one of the bus rides back, and prep school, it's all bus, so it's like sometimes you have like 9-hour drives back home. So I asked for the team iPad, and I'm just like screen recording some of my clips, and I sent them over to one of my friends, and he puts together like a 2 or 3 minute mix. The prep school Twitter page posts that mixtape, and then an Ohio coach DMs me from that mixtape, asking me to go on a visit and stuff. And
He saw the 2 to 3 minute mixtape on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got a DM from that, and I got a DM from Longwood University, and those were the 2 schools that had offered me. And then I ended up going to Ohio University, and
All MAC, all first team, all everything, right?
Yeah. And the rest is written.
What are your parents saying through this whole thing?
My mother actually had passed away when I was a junior in high school, and I wasn't necessarily the closest with my father.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had a different growing up period during high school.
You think you grew up fast because of this?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You definitely have to. My cousin, all the way from Jamaica, came to come live with me after my mother had passed away, and then I lived with 2 other friends that were my mom's best friend's son. So my mom's best friend's son, I lived with 2 of them and my cousin. So, because my mom was the only one who had, she's from Jamaica, and she was the only one of her family who had moved down to the States. So basically, like, the rest of my family is in Jamaica. So my cousin moved down, and I was with him, and like I said, the 2 other family friends.
Wow. And so at what point, you're 6'4", and then now you're going to Ohio. And
Yeah, so after prep school, I was about maybe 6'2",
Okay.
6'2", 6'3". Like, I had grown in that year. And then, in Ohio, I grew another inch. And then I also put on a lot of weight.
do you think in this weird way it benefited you that you I talk to, we both got kids, and I see this all the time when it happens in sports, especially kids like losing hope early or whatever else. And I say, I can't tell you, it's guy after guy that come in here, and it's Desmond Bain saying, I didn't have any, big Power 5 offers. Or it's Jake LaRavia, who's now on the team, who got drafted in the top 20. Like, I didn't play as a junior in high school. Or it's you that's coming here, and it's like,
Even myself.
Yeah.
Even myself. And when you said your story, but when you got out of high school and you looked around, it was no offers. Like, that would have probably been a time where you'd be like, you know what, I'm done with all this and just completely give up. And I like the part of you that it was a grit and grind moment for you right then and there, man. You went and got on the AAU team, played, kept the passion of basketball in you. Man, your story is very uplifting to a lot of people who are gonna be watching. A lot of young kids who are gonna be watching.
No, for sure.
Man,
Thank you.
I definitely honor you, man.
Thank you.
It's crazy to hear like because there's kids on high school teams right now that it would be unbelievable to think that they could get drafted in the NBA and be playing there. And so we know, and then obviously you have this tremendous success at Ohio. You get drafted top 35 pick, right, in the NBA draft, and then you get the foot injury, right, immediately.
Yeah, it was a tough setback because I was doing pretty well in like just the open runs before training camp, and actually that Friday, so we had Monday would be training camp, and that Friday, the very last open gym, very last game, I tore my lips frank. It's a more common of a football injury, but basically it's the middle of your foot. I tore some ligaments there, and I was out for that whole first year.
So then you're out for the first year, and then in what ways do you think it set you back?
I guess just not getting that experience, especially for that year with the team that we were on. It was a lot of guys who were hurt. Kawhi was also out. PG went down. Like there were just a couple games where and it was the first year prior to COVID, so a lot of guys were just getting signed left and right. Like, opportunity was there for you to for me to play, but yeah, that and then the following year is when a lot of the guys got healthy. The team kind of signed everybody else up, and the opportunity just wasn't really there.
So what'd you take away the most from your time with the Clippers?
Just being a professional every day, learning off the court habits like the food you eat, you know, stretching, knowing the importance of how much your body can affect you besides your basketball abilities. There's a lot of vets there, so just picking their brains every day was also helpful.
Who helped you the most?
Reggie Jackson was really helpful for me.
Shout out to Big Reggie.
Yeah.
Big Reggie. the
Tony
bruiser.
asked him what country he was from.
No, he was a great dude. Anytime I had a question, he was always willing to talk and help me out. So,
Which is super helpful, right? Because there's sometimes where veterans have no interest in helping a guy that could possibly take their job, but every once in a while you'll come across the one that's more than happy to help you along the way.
Yeah, no, for sure. He was definitely outgoing with it as well, you know.
And so now, right, like what as your career evolves, you find yourself in Memphis and you take this opportunity with the Hustle. And it's kind of like, here's the Jason Preston story all over again, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, count it out. Maybe I'm not on an NBA roster. Now I got to go. Like, but this is old hat to you, proving yourself. Like, you've had to, literally every step along the way, you have had to prove yourself to get what you want.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny being back in Tennessee, even if you might not know about Athens.
Wait, did you look it up?
Yeah, it's like almost 6 hours away.
Huh.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the state. Yeah, it's over near Knoxville.
Bro, you know where this has to be for him to say. I asked him where it is, and he said, "I'm not really sure. Like, I don't really know where it is."
Yeah, it's
It's
like
literally the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
It's like southwest of Knoxville.
It's a really small town. Yeah.
They said
but
it's
yeah.
like 50,000 people live there.
Yeah.
It's small.
Yeah.
Is this still a school?
Not there. not there anymore. I know.
This dude played for Bishop Sycamore.
The YMCA elite.
It's that's what I was saying. For that year, we were in Athens, Tennessee, but it was normally
For that year,
It was
then the
normally
next
always
year
in South Carolina.
They were in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Then the next year they were in Florida. Then the next year they were in.
And my bad here. Like the whole surrounding area is like 50. Dude, it's like 14,000 people. Like it's tiny. Yeah.
Tiny,
Little bitty
tiny
place. Yeah.
I gotcha. All right, so how'd you end up with the Hustle?
So I'd gotten released by the Clippers, and Memphis called me up. They were talking about just overall plan for me, and it sounded like a great opportunity for me to just build and grow. And since being here, it's been really good. It's a lot of great people, teammates, coaches, staff, everybody. Everybody's been very welcoming, so I've really enjoyed it.
So tell me about this decision, though, right? Because it's not like you only had one suitor, and when you're at the crossroads of a career, there's some guys that say, all right, what's my best option? Mm-hmm. Should I go to a bunch of training camps to try to latch on? Should I go overseas? Should I go to the G League route? Like, kind of walk me through that decision. I guess it's a little bit easier because you were on an NBA contract, and so you got a little more breathing room than some guys that are super stressed out about the money and having to go overseas to do it. But you're also looking for the best route to get back to where you want to be, right?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, like I said, I had a couple options, but based on everything that they were telling me, I really thought it was a good place for me to grow. It could, it's a possible positional need for the team. And I really like the culture overall. Just everything I'd hear for my possible development moving forward, and not necessarily just something for this very second. Mm-hmm. This all sounded pretty good to me.
G League is so much better over the last, now you see it. And now we've got big prospects that are in that league, and just going to those games, Rose are calling them, and I go down there to South Haven, and just the level of play and the level of talent is crazy now compared to what it was even 3-4 years ago. Probably when you first stepped in on a G League court, right? You see the difference?
Last year was my first year.
Oh, what? First time you ever even had to play there?
Because I was hurt that whole first year.
Gotcha.
This is year 3 for me, but I guess technically year 2,
right?
Of experience wise, but yeah.
What'd you think about it last year when you were there?
Yeah, a lot of talent. Really takes you back to that, like I said, old school era of just grinding it out, like with there's no private flights. You're flying commercial. It's not 5-star hotels, but I'm fine with that. Like I'm fine with that. It just brings me back.
Well, since you were an insider, we've got to ask you, what'd you think when you woke up this morning and saw that trade?
Man, I know that both sides have been wanting to get that done for a while, but it's just crazy to see. I guess we'll see how it all works out.
What are Paul George and Kawhi like?
They're both very reserved guys. PG's.
You think they knew your name?
This is what we need to know. No. Is Kawhi a fun guy?
Yeah.
Is Kawhi a fun guy? Yeah, he is. Because he's one of those guys, he doesn't say too much, but I guess when he does say it,
it's funny.
Just looking forward to laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. What about the journalism career? So obviously that got put on hold a long time ago. You had a blog, right, that everybody was reading. So is it still something, even though basketball worked out for you, is it still something that you look forward to? Is it still something you care about?
Maybe down the line. Obviously I'm playing right now, but if I wasn't playing, I'd want to do something in basketball. And at the time, that was what
What'd you want to do?
I could do.
Did you want to be a writer? Did you want to be a broadcaster? Did you want to
Yeah, I was kind of a writer. I was a huge Piston fan growing up, and I was on this app called Piston Powered, and I got to write a couple articles on there. A couple of them went on Bleacher Report and whatnot. And
this is in high school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were pretty dedicated to it even then. Hey.
Yeah, no, I love basketball, so if I'm not playing it, I got to be talking about it, speaking about it.
So who were you a fan of with the Pistons? Because obviously
Tony was a writer too. Have you ever written anything?
No.
He hadn't even written a thank you note.
I remember Isaiah. And I remember. We obviously remember I remember Chauncey Billups and Rasheed and Ben.
Yeah.
Were those guys? Did you
Yeah. I got into basketball really, really early. So that 04 championship was like, I guess, the start of me watching
How old were you
basketball.
when that happened?
5. I was 5 years
Okay,
old. But I stuck with them the whole way. They stayed in the playoffs a good amount throughout after that, but kind of tailored off. But I was
Yeah.
still a big fan the whole way.
But that 04 that championship, the year they beat the
That's
Sheffield
like the
Kobe
first
Lakers,
memory you have of basketball.
Yeah.
Do you have a memory of playing for that summer league Clippers team that kicked the shit out of us?
when y'all had like three
Dude,
40-year-olds
you
we
had
thought on your
all
team.
grown men.
Trying to remember.
It was
that.
last year. Was it 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, and like Fondue, Cabangele.
Yeah,
and,
we played you in the little gym, and you guys trashed the Grizzly Summer League team. And I was like, what is this? Why do
yeah.
you guys have a bunch of
It was the first
grown
game.
men?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
It was like everybody was 30 years old on that team. It's like you and a bunch of 30-year-olds.
Hey, that's just how the roster works out, you know. That the summer league, you know, you get a whole bunch of different guys playing. So.
I think you still had the blowed out hair, too.
Yeah.
When'd you get rid of it?
Sometime this year, I'm going more of braids. I'm wearing the headband now 'cause I'm trying to grow out the size. But
So we're not going back to the big blowed out hair?
probably not for a while.
Why are all the guys that are blowout hair guys that I loved? I love it because the same thing at Oklahoma City. That guy's got braids now.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, and he had the best hair ever.
Yeah.
Is it just tough to play? Like,
Just like a new look. I had that blowout hair for years. Like
It was a thing though.
Yeah. I don't
Is
know,
Jared-
You're known for it.
Yeah, maybe.
is
come
Jared
back
Allen
with this. He wants you
is
to go
Jared
back
Allen too
signature.
intimidating?
Yeah, I
that's
want the
what that
blown out
sound like.
hair.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I want to ask you who are some of the point guards in the league you kind of like try to mimic your game after growing up? Like who were you looking up to growing up?
I mean, growing up, I watched. It's crazy. It might sound a lot of LeBron. That's where I got a lot of my passing reads, vision, knowledge of the game from. Chris Paul. Watched a lot of Chris.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Steve Nash. Those are probably the 3 main ones. Like just growing up, that I watched a whole lot. As I've like.
You didn't. Tony Allen's passing ability is not something.
Hey, no, I still watch a lot of Memphis Grizzlies basketball, a lot of playoff basketball. Love the whole grit and grind mantra that you guys
for
had.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
with Mike Conley, Z.
You want to know about
Gasol.
defense? There's no question. You can watch that.
Yeah, no, I was tuning in. I was watching it.
Well,
all.
especially if you like the old Pistons.
Yeah,
You had to have liked us,
defense 1-on-1 over there.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But he got Jay Marsh down there. I'm pretty sure Jay Marsh, that's my boy.
Mm-hmm. You like Jay
He was
Marsh?
part of that grit and grind movement himself. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, he was on the bench.
You say you're a film guy, right?
Yeah.
That's all I used to have Jay Marsh do. Give me all the film. When I study my opponent, I want to know what he did in transition, what he did in isolation, what he did on the right side of the block, the left side of the block, his catch and shoot. You know what I mean? I wanted to know everything. So
Yeah.
ask Jay Marsh. He'll let you-
He may not like me telling you this, but from what I've known from past camps, get ready to run. He's gonna run. He wants his teams in shape in camp. He does. He'll run them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna run?
We had day one yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What'd you think about the team when you saw it for the first time? You guys got talent.
Yeah, for sure. And a couple of us have been down here already a week before, just running some pickup games. But
Who have you kind of gotten used to, or at least starting to build some chemistry with?
I'm really cool with honestly the whole team, like Adonis, Matt Hurt, Lucas Williamson, David Johnson. I mean, the list can go on and on. There were a good amount of people that were down, but
Is there
everybody's-
anybody you had a prior relationship with?
I knew a couple of them. Like Lucas was on the Clippers G League team last year. I knew Mike just from playing against him in the G League. Same thing with Matt. David Johnson was in my draft class, so I had a good knowledge of a good amount of people before.
Gotcha. How many guys mention your story to you? Do you think guys have an awareness of it?
I do get told.
People
about it.
know.
Yeah, and then you referenced the or I don't know if you did reference the commercial A lot of people reference that.
Which commercial was it?
It was an AT&T commercial.
AT&T?
Probably a couple months ago, like around the March Madness time.
Gotcha.
You were in it?
Yeah, it's about his story.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was basically like the one in it. There was like a whole bunch of like little me's playing it from like, you know, my childhood, high school to now. So
That was dope.
Are you, anybody try to option your story for a movie?
There's been some talks. I mean,
It's a Disney movie, bro.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Nobody has a Tony, you got when you go back out to LA, tell KG we want to make this movie.
Yeah.
The Jason Preston story.
Hold up, man.
Seriously, but I mean, do you ever talk to kids? Like have the opportunity to, you know, there's so many kids that give up.
Yeah.
There's so many kids that give up, and your story is one that it's like it can happen.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Especially the kid that's grumpy, sitting on a bench somewhere going, I'm not getting my chance. Just to stick with it is crazy.
Yeah, you just got to have a belief in yourself.
Once upon a time, my man over there was at a JUCO somewhere with no cameras at a game. You can lose hope, right?
Worse. And then when you look around and see what your peers doing, that's what really make it worse. You look around, you say, man, I'm better than half of these guys.
Yeah.
I can compete with all these guys. And it's like you get the short end of the stick, but when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And when you're working hard and you grind, you will get there. Patience is a virtue.
For sure.
I think so many of these guys, I actually think that there's, like, your story is especially unique, and yet every year I'm talking to more and more guys that have a different trajectory. And I can't tell you how many times I've told my son, I'm like, I don't know what more you need to hear that Michael Jordan got cut from his freshman basketball team and Tom Brady didn't get to play quarterback. He didn't get to start in college.
Literally the two best at what they've ever done.
He's the best, these are the two best athletes we've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not,
It's possible.
you know, the kid who's ranked the first best 8th grader is not the kid that's ranked the first best, 10th grader, 12th grader, and whatever they end up becoming. Like what you are now is not what you will be.
There's tons of guys that went to or were unheralded out of high school that went unnoticed and went to small schools with Ja Morant. Like no one knew who he was. Damian Lillard is one of the best players in the league, and nobody knew who he was. Like, and he went to Weber State.
Giannis Antetokounmpo was sharing shoes. I saw that Disney movie.
And we still didn't know about Giannis. Like, it's like, because you saw the highlights of it, it's like, well, this dude looks like he's playing against a bunch of 5'5" guys.
Yeah.
So what is? And now he's
Who else? Last thing, that 5-on-5. Since we started with that story, that first 5 guys.
For the AU tournament.
Where are the other 4? Any idea?
Yeah, 2 of them I still talk to.
You do.
Yeah.
Of the 5 that were in the game.
Well, yeah. So I was one of them. And
Right,
then,
and then there's 4 more.
yeah, 2 of them. I'm in a fantasy football league with them.
Yeah, so they still your partner.
Yeah. I'm still cool with them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you ever pass it to him at the AAU tournament? Or did you just
He
go
was
for
trying to
he
get
was
signed
50
for
a
the
game?
year then. Get signed for the year, man.
signed
You
for
want
the
to think
year.
about that, man.
I'm trying.
And I encourage you to do that this year, man. The Grizzlies, like, you know, they starting off a little rough-handed right now, but, man, you go down there and do your thing, man. I'm wishing you a call-up, man.
Yes, sir.
Especially-
Do your thing, short on the big time.
Yes, sir.
One thing about Jason Preston, he can dribble. We need guys that can dribble, TA.
Man, so keep working, man. Don't stop it now, man. Keep working. Man.
Opportunity.
Keep
If you can dribble, like you for real, like got a shot.
We got a shot.
You really might have a shot.
Never
Yeah,
know.
you really might.
Hey, I can't wait to watch you with the hustle, man. I know you're gonna have a great season there. I appreciate you coming in,
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Jason Preston.